USF 2000, Schrag and Jeffers rolling into the start line. All lined up. Oh, big contact there. A couple drivers are going to get together. Ayrton Hauk and number 99, Ryan Janetta. Zero luck for Ryan Janetta. Nothing to do with him on the racetrack at all, as we got the full course yellow, drivers stacking things up. That was one of those according effects. I feel like they would have been going a little quicker coming out of 12, and they checked up a bit out of 13. Ayrton Hauk got into the driver in front of him, and at that point, his wing came flying off. He was in the air, went to the right, and got into the right rear of Ryan Janetta. Man, I feel for Ryan. He has just had absolutely zero luck this year. This is a young driver who's got a lot of talent. John, he just has had zero chance to show it. We can see it here. We're looking down, and he's got his hands up in the cockpit like, what do I have to do?
Yeah,
like, what do I need to do to get to the end of one of these races?
We had a couple wave-offs in the racing here this weekend because the pace car tried to pull away from the field, and the field was a little too packed up behind them and strung out. And so I think the drivers were maybe a little anxious not to do that this time, so they slowed way down. The front row slowed way down, Schrag and Jeffers, as they came onto the front straightaway, and I think that may have caught some of these guys at the back a little bit out of sync.
I'm kind of happy that it happened to the rear of the car for Ryan Janetta, simply because of the fact he's been dealing with a bit of a wrist injury. So, we do have a little look at this. We'll give the best you can as the field can kind of work their way through here into the incident scene. AMR safety team will do the best we can to get a line through. Now have a look deep in the pack, midway through the pack. That's where this all happens. You'll see Ayrton Hauk pop up in the air. His wing goes flying. He automatically goes to the driver's right into the side of Ryan Janetta, who, again, was just sitting there ready to, punching off, just getting started, and then gets drilled by Ayrton Hauk coming across from the right.
And you could see Hauk was a passenger at that point because the steering arm was broken. That right front reel was at about a 45-degree angle, and so he went sideways because he couldn't do anything else. So
the drivers are now being rerouted through pit lane here. Obviously, one of the drivers slowing coming up as well. One of the D-Force cars, Garzon. I believe Sebastian Garzon. Yeah, he's had to come into pit lane, potentially having some kind of an issue there on his outlap. Garzon started in 9th position. All of that happened a little further back. Hauk started in 11th and Janetta in 13th. So let's have another look at this. Now that we've kind of picked it out there, for those of you at home, you can get another shot of it. You'll see whatever happened to Ayrton Hauk. He ends up climbing over top of somebody's wheel. The wing goes flying. He breaks the right free, and he just comes right across to driver's right into the side of Ayrton Hauk. And one of the drivers there having to go off the side as well. That might have been Timmy Carell, I think, went off in the grass. So he made evasive maneuvers to get around. Again, just a shame for Ryan Janetta and Ayrton Hauk as things kind of stacked up a little bit there. And listen, the drivers meeting, they'll tell you, when you come out of turn number 12, out of the carousel, you're maintaining speed. You maintain speed. The minute you get off the gas or try to check a speed, everybody else is going to accordion back, and that's a no-no. You maintain speed until you punch off. You wait for that checker, the green flag to fly. So whatever happened up front to check things up, the collateral damage was all these drivers further back in the pack.
Garzon had a flat left rear when he came by our position, and they're still working on getting that tire changed, but it looks like there may be some more damage to the rear of that car as the crew is still working on it. So we'll see if Garzon is going to be able to get back into this one.
Sebastian Garzon coming into the weekend sitting 9th place in the points with 124 markers. Christian Cameron behind him by only 6. Cameron currently runs in the 8th position, so a good opportunity for Cameron to potentially leapfrog over Garzon into the 9th position. They got the 99 up on the hook. They'll bring him back here. Wing damage and left rear damage for the 99 VRD machine of Ryan Janetta. As we know, as John kind of detailed, front suspension damage and wing damage. We saw that shattered in the air for Ayrton Hauk. So those two drivers are out of the race, Janetta and Hauk. Schrag, Jeffers, Martella, Masella, and Fakuri, how they line up on the racetrack now. As again, we went yellow as soon as we kind of came through turn number 1. They didn't let them roll that much. Back again down through pit lane, as I believe the AMR IndyCar team happy with the cleanup. Of course, a lot of shrapnel there from the front wing of Ayrton Hauk. Well, I'll tell you this, John, when we were back here in June for the IMSA weekend, in the opening race, it was just juniors. USF juniors were the only category there. Their opening race in again, great conditions, green to checker. Right. We were celebrating them. We told all of our USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 drivers, This is what we're expecting.
Right.
They did not deliver. Or they did not understand the assignment.
Perhaps that's it. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We have had yellows. We've had dive bombs. We've had guys driving each other off. We've had contact. Yeah, not been what we would expect from the drivers higher up in the program. The juniors are brand new to the sport, brand new to moving from karts into cars. They're going to make mistakes.
You almost expect it from them.
Yeah,
you don't expect it from these guys that have been down the road a couple times.
Yeah, indeed. And we'll see whether or not race control has a look at that start, whether it's under review at all, because obviously that according effect of whatever happened there. Tough stuff for sure. Hopefully we'll get things back underway here. But again, USF Pro 2000 coming after this one, as we know, will wrap their weekend up, a doubleheader for that category. They kicked things off with a 30-lapper earlier today, and in the high heat of the day, too. Man, it was warm. It's still 86 degrees, but 30-lapper for those drivers. First time, of course, on with the IndyCar rubber as well, because they didn't run at all on Friday afternoon. So a lot of extra grip out there for them, as it will be right now. IndyCar qualifying just wrapping up. And I'll tell you, we'll take the opportunity to shout out some of our drivers who have come up through the ranks with us. Nolan Siegel, Colton Hurt, obviously a former USF 2000 driver. Louis Foster, our 2022 USF Pro 2000 champion, 6th. All three of those drivers in the top 6. Kiffin Simpson spent some time with us. Kyle Kirkwood, of course, a USF and USF 2000 and Pro 2000 champion, 7th. Christian Rasmussen, the same as Kirkwood, 10th. I love seeing all these graduates from the USF Pro Championships coming up front, starting to work their way forward and getting into becoming those drivers that we're going to be following for the next number of years.
Looking at Garzon's car and the work that they're doing, it looks like they're replacing the rear wing, and based on his position, I'm guessing Hauck got into the back of Garzon, and that's why he's got some damage to the rear and a flat tire.
Yeah, and we talked about the fact that he climbed up over top of somebody, so just to make that assumption that it would have been Garzon. So those drivers, that inside line who started essentially 9th and 11th, all in contact there. We're back to green flag racing, and a great start there for Jack Jeffers. He's been able to take the lead at the line. Jeffers on the lead. Thomas Schrag under attack from his teammate Teddy Masella. Masella knows he's got to get digging. He's behind by 39 points. He's got to beat his teammate here to keep himself in the fight going to Toronto. Look at that big defense down to the bottom of the racetrack. Jeffers out front. Coming down the inside is Masella. Oh, this is good stuff. That might actually be Martella, not Masella, coming to the inside there. We'll see as they come down the long straightaway here. One driver dropping a wheel. The big dust is up there. And away we go, down into turn number 4 for the first time. Expect a number of drivers to go to the bottom of the racetrack. There they are. You can make that move to the bottom. Big brake lock up there. One driver's going to go off. That's going to be Martella. He is locked up the left front. Hard to the braking. And Martella goes off at the end of the front straightaway. Anthony Martella had taken over, I believe, 2nd and moved his way off into the turn number 4 China Beats. John just overcooked that corner, and off he went.
Might have been caught in the draft as well and had a little more momentum coming down into that turn with cold tires, cold brakes, and just under anticipated how much stopping power he had with that car.
Yeah, downhill braking zone as well. You have to have it's a longer braking zone. The car's going to have that momentum of coming downhill. The gravity will pull it down into the braking zone. Jack Jeffers will lead him onto the front straightaway here for Exclusive Autosport. Thomas Schrag, your point leader for VRD, running 2nd. His teammate right with him. Although Teddy Masella got a big run out of turn number 13. As they work their way into the turn 1 bridge. Let's see what we get with that big drag race all the way up into turn 1 again. Masella, as we said, knows that championship slipping away. Look at this big move to the bottom of the racetrack. No. And it'll be Schrag covering off the bottom. That's going to stack everybody up behind him. Caleb Gaffera, Lucas Facuri, G3 Argyros, as Martella will bring the number 9 machine down into pit lane. They're going to have to clear out the radiators there for sure. He picked up a ton of gravel from China Beach. Jack Jeffers is way out front, but look at this battle further back. Masella keeps trying the inside. I think he's going to get the job done finally. Which driver is through? That indeed is Teddy Masella. And look at that, Caleb Gaffera going to pounce as well. He's going to go by Thomas Schrag. Right behind him is Lucas Facuri. Facuri now with him. G3 Argyros in the positive beverage machine. Oh, little touch there coming through turn number 8 and 9. I'll tell you, elbows are up right now for this one. Everybody realizes they're in a championship chase. Teddy Masella knew he had to get by his teammate Thomas Schrag. Could not let him keep stacking the points on top of him. He wants to win the title. JSF4 champion last year for Teddy Masella. John, I'm sure you're familiar with watching Teddy run, a very talented young driver.
Absolutely, no question about it. And the guy I'm watching is Gaffera. they say that after you get that first win, they start coming in bunches, and I think Gafera's feeling it right now.
Hey, listen, you take the pressure off. I've known Caleb since he was probably 6 or 7 years of age running in karts, and that's the same with any driver. You get that first win, you know you can do it. Now the momentum's there. You want the next one. The first one's always tough to get, but you really want that second one. The gaggle of cars further back here. 2 wide coming down through the keyhole. Downhill, off-camber, right-hander.
Looks like they're coming to the start. Just like 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back.
Wow. And Jack Jeffers taking advantage of this right now. He's 2 seconds up on Teddy Masella and Caleb Gafera. Thomas Schrag doing whatever he can right now to hold off the Lions. Everybody trying to fight their way by. G3 Argyros digging hard. He expected more coming into this weekend. Qualified 7th with a top 10 finisher in the first race. He's trying to get some more here, and they're all stacking up here now. Look at how many cars are right there. There's Timmy Carell as well in the Fast Toys status for Jay Howard Driver Development. He's trying to get himself up into the top 10 now. So indeed, finally settling in a little bit here, but they're going to continue on the attack. If there are issues with Thomas Schrag, everybody's going to go after him.
Yeah, I think GT has gotten around it, but we'll see.
Sorry, John. Top 3 drivers have stretched away, and you're correct, 100%. G3 Argyros is by. Everybody's coming by right now.
Yeah, Schrag is off the pace, it looks like.
Oh, almost contact with a couple of drivers there. 3 wide coming into turn 1. Hold your breath, folks. Do they get through? No dust up. Wow, well done.
I can breathe again.
Yeah, well, listen, we know here, we see 3 wide through turn 1. You expect to see somebody off the racetrack on the exit. There's a big move to the bottom. Someone getting a little bump and run down into the braking zone. Oh, slow. That's damage to that car. That's Christian Cameron.
He's done.
Cameron has damage on the left rear, and he is not happy at all. And I guarantee Jack Jeffers won't be either. A 1.8 second lead is going to go away. Christian Cameron from 8th position is going to bring out the full course yellow. Damage to the left rear for Christian Cameron. As he went to the inside of the racetrack, somebody tried to climb up on the inside as well. It was getting really tight down to the bottom. Full course yellow, 6 laps down of a 20-lapper. And Jeffers will see that 1.8 second lead disappear. Masella second, Gafera third. Those 3 drivers have pulled out to almost 4 seconds on G3 Argyros. Thomas Schrag now back into 7th position. We did have the cameras right on that one, folks, so we'll give you a replay of the incident that happened there into turn number 2. Watch them coming down the hill. Someone literally just drove into the back of him because Christian Cameron had the line. I want to say that might have been Eddie Beswick, because as they came in right down to the bottom part of the racetrack, Christian Cameron was kind of hugging the line, hugging the apex coming through. Thomas Schrag's into pit lane, folks, in the number 2. An issue for Schrag into pit lane. Is he going to the pits? He does. I wonder whether or not we had some kind of an issue from race control, but Thomas Schrag, who dropped like a rock from the pole, is now into pit lane. Talk about blowing this championship wide open.
When he came by last time, it looked like he was off the pace. I mean, cars were passing him left and right. Something was not right, and clearly that's brought him into the pits.
Yeah, John, I just saw them bring a front wing out as well. So I don't know if there's major wing damage or what it is, or they're just going to take this opportunity to put a new wing on. I don't know that I saw major wing damage as he rolled by us. It wasn't something that popped into our heads, obviously. So Jack Jeffers is going to lead this here. Teddy Masella in second. There's a great shot of the Christian Cameron machine for VRD Racing. You see the left damage there. They've got that car up on the hook already. The AMR IndyCar safety team always so quick getting the cars up on the hook and out of harm's way so we can go back to green flag racing. Not sure what's wrong with Thomas Schrag yet, but I believe, did he just pull out, John?
No, that was Garzone.
Okay, that was so Sebastian Garzone. They've completed the repairs to that machine after the incident that he had early. So Garzone's going to come out and at least pick up a couple of spots now. Schrag still on pit lane here. John's keeping an eye on it here with the binoculars. Long way from where we are here at start finish, but yeah, tough here for Thomas Schrag. His podium finish as he's back onto the racetrack. He has rolled out of pit lane. He's going to go to the tail of the field. Unsure yet what the issues were for Thomas Schrag. As I said, they pulled a front wing out and looked like they put that back on. Pace car is still coming around, but the problem with Schrag right now is if they get this thing, he's a full lap behind essentially. Even at speed trying to close back up, he's going to have to go slow through turn number 2 through the through the actual accident zone, he's going to have trouble getting all the way back to the tail of the field here.
Yeah, exactly, because he's got to make up a whole lap, basically.
Yes. Tough one for Thomas. Again, the home race. He was had this one circled on the calendar for 2025. And listen, he arrived on the scene at his home track with the point lead as well, and a significant lead coming in. In fact, right now into race number 2 on the weekend, 25 points up on Jack Jeffers, 39 on his teammate Teddy Masella. They run now 1-2. So this, again, blows things wide open. At least it's going to tighten things up in a big way. Jeffers, Masella, Gaffera, Argyros, and Facuri top 5. Evan Cooley in 6th, Eddie Beswick in 7th, Joshua Leonel 8th, Timmy Corral now in 9th, Von Mishko now up into 10th, Vian Bossoff, who started at the tail of the field in 17th, he's +6. Schrag is going to be, we believe, 12th, unless Martella comes around.
Martella has come by, and he's a lap down. Schrag will be on the tail end of the lead lap.
100%, yeah. So Martella a lap down. Schrag's coming through the carousel now as the field going down the back straightaway. He's going to have a chance, if he keeps digging, to potentially catch back up. I would expect it will go green this time by. So indeed, that would leave 12 drivers on the lead lap. Martella down a lap. Cameron is out. Garzone's back on track, so he's going to be able to continue. So Cameron's likely going to finish down in 15th. Janetta 16th, and Hauk 17th.
I think Schreck's got a shot to catch the back of the pack here, as they're just going through turn 6, and he's up in the keyhole right now. So,
John, giving you the update, Logan Knapp from Elite Engines, who is always down there in pit lane ready to help teams out if anything happens with their power plants, it did confirm a front wing change for Thomas Schrag. So whatever the damage was during the start of the kind of the chaos of the opening couple of laps, that wing damage was enough. We saw him have trouble. Listen, if you have front wing damage, we keep talking about aero wash at this particular racetrack with the long duration corners. If you have a misfunctioning front wing, you're just going to lose the front grip anyway. So good call for him to come in. We're going to go back to green. Schrag's going to still be on his giddy up trying to get himself back around. Another driver's coming to pit lane at the same time, but we're back to green flag racing. Good start for Jeffers. Back at it again. Who else is coming to pit lane? The 11 of Joshua Leonel from the top 10. A Leonel into pit lane. No idea what it could be there. The team going to look at the car. Joshua Leonel into pit lane. Doesn't look like they found anything yet, but that's going to move Timmy Corral up into 8th, Von Mishko into 9th, and Vian Bossoff, the South African, up into the top 10.
Jeffers getting a good jump. He's already opened up a bit of a gap over Masella and Gaffera.
Crossed halfway flags next time by again. There's a battle a little bit further back. Look at this move. That's, I believe, Lucas Facuri battling it out with G3 Argyros. I think Facuri's gone back into the position. No, Argyros still has it. G3 holds him off. Wow, G3 digging hard there. A little drop of the wheel coming out of turn number 6 as you using all of that racetrack. Oh, there's the move to the inside. That is nice. Book it. Facuri to the inside of turn 9.
Took it right back.
John, how do you like that pass? You don't see a lot of that coming through 8 over to 9, but that was a nicely set up overtake by Lucas Facuri.
You can catch a driver by surprise. That's not a place you normally see passing, but if you time it just right, you can make it work.
Indeed, and he did it. He was able to get to the inside. Argyros wisely let him through. But that's the battle we're seeing further back here now. It's the 91 of Lucas Facuri up into 4th. Remember, I told you Evan Cooley, who started all the way back in 12th. That was not a spot indicative of the pace that he has. And again, started 12th, has worked his way now up into 6th, so he has split the difference already. Thomas Schrag digging, but was not able to close back up, just crossing the line now as the rest of the field coming through turn number 2. So Facuri turned his fast lap on that overtake. Great job for Lucas in the 91. I talked about that in the pre-show. He is really starting to show me what he's got here. Starting to get comfortable with that team. Lucas Facuri currently in 12th place in points, but the last 3 races he's racked up some points. Had a really good weekend, John, at Road America. A solid run yesterday as well. You're starting, knocking up those runs when you're running, 15, 18, 20 points. Then you start stacking things up again. You need to finish up front to get the big points. And Facuri in the middle of a scrap right now to try to get into the top 10. The drivers here in front of him right now, Ayrton Hauk is out, Christian Cameron is out, Sebastian Garzone is at the back. So there's a big opportunity for him to jump into the top 10 here.
And if he's got anything for Gaffara in front of him, he's got a chance at a podium here.
Well, let's start with this. Teddy Masella is closing up a little bit here. on Jack Jeffers. Last time by, let's look at some lap times. Remember, the VRD cars are quick here. Obviously, the exclusive cars are as well. They're 1st, 4th, and 6th. But last time by, Masella about 2/10 quicker than Jeffers. You can visually see it, John, as they work their way out of Thunder Valley.
Yep, Masella's the fastest of those three.
There's the leaders coming down now through the keyhole. 11 laps down, 9 to go. A couple of good battles lining up a little bit further back here as well. You see them crest the hill, the downhill. Great shot there. You can see how high they are coming down a couple of stories from the top of turn number 2, the entrance into the keyhole, off camber back down to the bottom part of the track. And essentially it's a run all the way down from turn number 2 all the way down to turn number 4. Longer braking zone, as we said, into that new pavement as well, in the late stages of that braking zone before you release the brakes and try to roll the center.
Mishko, Bossoff, and Carroll having a great battle as Mishko dived down to the inside there, tried to get around Timmy Carroll. Wasn't able to make it happen.
And think about that too for Von Mishko, right? There's a guy that is a regular in the MX5 Cup program, so he's used to running the Miatas and the MX5 Cup cars, and to come here in a car with a lot less body roll, a lot less body work, let's put it that way, with the open wheels, I think he's done a great job. And the fact that he's in the middle of a battle here as well with Carell and Bossoff, that's good stuff.
And he's certainly used to pack racing, so you know.
Note taken. Yeah, he's used to being on nose to tail, door handle to door handle, no doubt about it. Those Mazda MX-5 Cup races are absolutely thrilling to watch. Jeffers matched the pace and a little better, actually, of Masella that last time, so 0.6 of a second still holding up. We talked about aero wash. That is going to be something that Masella is going to have to play with. Caleb Gaffaro right there as well, P5 in the points. He's trying to move up. He's about 18 points behind G3 Argyros, who is 2 spots behind him now. So Gaffaro trying to claw his way back after a couple of issues earlier in the season that saw him not get the results that he likely deserved from his on-track performances. But those 3 drivers are stretching away now. Jeffers, Masella, and Gaffaro. Yeah, Masella's definitely closing. Tightening up a 10th here, a 10th there. That doesn't mean you're ready to make a dive bomb move, because it's tough to get that run coming out of the keyhole to get the run down into turn number 4. But top 3 drivers are locked together right now. Less than a second and a half separate them from front to back.
Yeah, exactly right. And we've got 2 packs of 3 basically at the front of this field. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th running in close formation as well. Yeah,
G3 Argyros in the middle of an exclusive Autosport sandwich with Lucas Facuri up front, Evan Cooley in the back, Eddie Beswick about a second and a half back running in 7th, Timmy Carell 8th. That Carell, Mishko, and Bossoff is an 8th, 9th, 10th battle. They'll come across start-finish line here. We'll see which drivers appear ready to attack. The number 12 of Garzone is actually right behind Vian Boshoff, not right behind, but let's say 6 or 7 car lengths behind, but he's a lap down, as we know, a couple laps down, in fact, 5 laps down, having to put the repairs on that machine. But good to see him back out. He's already got 1 spot already, being able to get out in front of Christian Cameron, and he'll very likely in a couple laps leapfrog over his teammate Joshua Leonel, who is still in pit lane, and it looks to me like right rear damage. For those of you who are Joshua Leonel fans watching from home in Texas, it looks like right rear. When he came in, it did look like the rear had a bit of camber, like something was bent on it. I wasn't quite sure. They went around the car, and it seemed like it was okay, but they were able to identify it and are now potentially trying to get that fixed for Joshua Leonel. 13th place in points right now. Had that fantastic podium finish at St. Petersburg. Hasn't got back to the podium since, but has had a lot of top 10 finishes throughout the season. Gaffaro, on that strength of the win yesterday afternoon, the confidence and momentum that comes with it, continues to put the pressure on Teddy Masella. That may be the best thing for Jack Jeffers right now, is to have Gaffaro putting all that pressure on Masella, trying to get back in there, because Gaffaro, just like both Jeffers and Masella, he's not out of the championship yet. Yeah, he's back by 81 points, but with Thomas Schrag back in 11th here right now, and trying to close up on Vian Bossoff, I'll tell you, it's just not done yet. He's got to keep digging. He knows he can win races now, so I guarantee he'll be digging hard to try to get to P2. Yeah, they're stacked up there, John. That is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And they currently run 1st, it's probably 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the standings. So an opportunity for all 3 of these drivers to have a successful midway run through this week. And remember, they got to do it again tomorrow morning as well.
Right.
So, hey, make sure you roll that car back to the trailer so the team's not here till midnight repairing any damage. This is as close as Teddy Masella has gotten. He is right there with Jack Jeffers now. Those three drivers pulling away. There'll be 5 laps to go when they come back around. So this is starting to come down to crunch time here as well. Ayrton Hauk and Ryan Janetta, as we recap, out on the opening lap, actually right at start finish, collected in a start line incident. Christian Cameron out on lap number 6, contact over as they kind of rolled through the apex of turn number 2. Left rear damage rather for Cameron there. Garzone was involved in the incident. He was the one that got hit by Hauk at the start. They had to repair that car. He's back in 14th. Right rear damage for Lionel now has him down in 13th spot. Anthony Martella back on the racetrack, but he's a lap down.
Looking at the lap times, Lucas Ficuri is faster than the 3 cars in front of him. So.
Significantly, John, you're right. He's 0.3 quicker than Jack Jeffers. Lucas Ficuri is a ways back, 1.8 seconds back, and they haven't started a fight yet. If they start fighting, Lucas Ficuri could find himself up there. Argyros running in the 5th spot. Remember, started back in 7th, so +2 for G3 Argyros. I think he'd consider that a solid win now. He'd like to get himself up onto the podium, but a good run to 3rd, or to the top 5 is solid for him. Jeffers thinking about running a little defensive line now. The first time he's covered off the bottom of the racetrack into turn number 4. That's going to keep Masella right with him. Back down through 6. This is about hitting all your marks. Jack Jeffers getting challenged aggressively. A driver who won 3 races in his first year of USF Juniors competition. Went winless in year number 2 rather. His first year here at USF 2000 was a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to get his first win, like his buddy Caleb Gaffera did. In fact, all 3 of these drivers up front have won races this year as well, as we know now. Victory for Jeffers at Indianapolis, Road America for Masella, and here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for Gaffera. And John, you are not kidding, 4th and 5th have got the rabbits. That is 100% what's happening right now. Lucas Ficuri says, hey, hold on. I'm closing on you guys in a big way. And Ficuri up on the wheel to try to see if he can't make it a 4-driver, maybe even a 5-driver battle up front with G3 Argyros. Now, he was 0.6 quicker. Oh, we have an issue. Thomas Schrag. Thomas Schrag's off the racetrack. I don't know whether that'll bring a full course yellow out or not, but Thomas Schrag is off the track. He's going to try. He's going to refire. That's coming out of 5 down to 6, John, is it not?
I believe so. Coming out of 6, yeah.
So not sure what happened to Thomas Schrag there. Here's a big lunge to the inside. Not quite enough there. Oh,
Masella goes wide.
Watch yourself, Masella. Oh, he gets a little wide into the corner.
Hey, Gaffera's sniffing a win here again. And look at Ficuri right on the tail end of this group.
Yeah, indeed. Masella has a big look to the inside. And Jeffers coming across the bow into the apex and out. That allowed Gaffera to kind of over-under Masella in that corner. As they went down to the inside of the racetrack, Masella got a little wide on the exit, had to kind of hold that brake, I think, a little bit longer than he probably wanted to, with a lot of wheel in it, but a great job for him to hold on to it. As John said, that has brought Lucas Ficuri and G3 Argyros back into it. Gaffera now running in 2nd. Jeffers is the leader. They'll work their way across the line again. Jeffers and Gaffera 1-2. Coming across the line with 3 laps remaining. 0.4 of a second, the margin between these 2 drivers. Masella, Ficuri, Argyros right there as well. Evan Cooley 6th, Beswick 7th, Carell 8th, Mishko 9th, and Bossoff 10th. Schrag able to continue, he's 11th. We'll see whether or not he may lose another lap to Martella or Garzone. It'll just be Martella. At this point here, Schrag, I don't think he can go any further than 12th, because even Garzone cannot turn enough laps to be able to move Schrag down a spot. This fight to the end is going to be a good one.
Basically a 5-car breakaway at the front.
Yeah, and even Cooley. Let's not forget about Evan Cooley. He's a little far off the back there to challenge now. But Jack Jeffers and Caleb Gaffera able to get by. Jeffers holding off Masella. Gaffera doing a beautiful over-under. Kind of saw it happening. Stayed wide, was able to get the over-under done. And closed up on Gaffera. Or rather, closed up on Jeffers through turn 9. These drivers are digging. We may have a really good fight, I think, for the final spot on the podium. I think Lucas Ficuri can feel the podium. He knows it's there for him.
Yeah, Masella seems to be fading just a little bit. He's not able to keep up with Gaffera and Jeffers in front of him. And now he's got company from behind for sure.
Oh, Lucas Ficuri, I think, overcooked it into the apex at turn number 12. And G3 Argyros slipped through. He just pushed a little too hard, trying to carry some speed through the carousel, wide on the mid part of the corner, a little mid-corner understeer, and Argyros beautifully tucked to the inside, took that spot away. Now that may be enough for Masella, but I don't know. I think Argyros is up on the wheel as well. And listen, John, if you're right and Masella's struggling at all, if he maybe used the tires a little bit. Here's one thing we didn't bring up. Remember, there are probably 2 fresh sets of tires to use. Everybody using 2 sets of tires, 2 fresh sets in qualifying. 3 races, so there are some drivers that could be on used tires here or fresh tires. Masella may have burned up the used tires, but he could have started with used and has a fresh set for tomorrow morning. We really didn't take the notes as they came out to find out which drivers were on stickers. We saw a number of them as they came onto the pit lane.
But there were a number that were not, too.
Yes, so. Exactly, yeah. So this could be an issue where Masella's tires may be going away in comparison to that of Lucas Facuri and G3 Argyros. Argyros, the man on the hunt now. White flag will fly this next time by. Jeffers.
Masella's about a half a second off his best lap. So.
That's it, right? So there, potentially. Schrag comes across the line here now. Jeffers and Gaffera, nose to tail. This is going to come down to the final lap here. Jeffers has got to hit a good one. He needs a victory here, as does Gaffera. Both these drivers need the big points, especially with Schrag down in 11th now. If these drivers can come home with these 2 spots and throw Masella in there as well, throw Argyros in there. The top 4 drivers right now, they need these crucial points. Wherever they finish the top 4, these are going to be crucial points to them to try to close up on Thomas Schrag. You don't get an opportunity like this a lot. Schrag having the issue with the front wing. Here's the final run down the straightaway. As we know, normally if you're through 4 and 5, it's tough to overtake in the second half of the racetrack. But Gaffera's going to take a big run. You know that it's going to be a push down to the bottom. No, not close enough. Gaffera's going to think about a lunge. Not quite. Jeffers looking good coming through. G3 wants that podium. I guarantee you. He was talking about that in the pre-race, right after we recorded the pre-race show. He's like, I want the podium bad.
He's going a little defensive. That may come back to bite him.
Hold on to it. Yeah, right there is Lucas Facuri trying to get that P4 spot back. Teddy Masella holding on. Oh, I thought we were going to see a lunge move there. Caleb Gaffera is almost on the gearbox coming through Thunder Valley. They'll work their way up to turn number 10 and 11. Down to the carousel one more time. Gaffera not quite there. He does. Oh, Jeffers gets a little wide on the corner. They're coming out of the final. Turn number 13. And Jack Jeffers is going to hold on for the victory. Jeffers wins his second USF2000 race of the season. Caleb Gaffera, what a weekend so far. P1 yesterday, P2 today. Teddy Masella making it happen as well. Another one for him on the podium. He is racking the podiums up now. At the start of the season, it was consistently, 4th to 8th. Those podiums are coming right now for Teddy Masella. That is 3 podiums in the last 4 races for Teddy. Jeffers gets the win, though. You saw that, John. I saw that. It looked like he pushed pretty hard to the corner. Almost what Facuri did and got a little wide on the mid-corner. Down the inside came Gaffera. I thought we might have been side by side coming out of turn number 13.
Yep.
So Jeffers, Gaffera, Masella, Argyros, and Facuri, your top 5. Good run for Evan Cooley. Started back in 12th. He's +6 on the race. There you have it, folks. Your unofficial results coming up. Jeffers and Gaffera and Masella, the drivers, will head to victory lane. John, I'll give you an opportunity to run through the unofficial results of the 17 drivers who took to the track today. And after victory lane, I'll come back and join you for USF Pro 2000.
One more race to go for the USF Pro 2000 drivers as G3 Argyros, a well-fought 4th position. Lucas Facuri, the Brazilian, comes home in 5th spot. Evan Cooley, a good run up into 6th. Eddie Beswick a little further down in the 7th spot. Timothy Carroll, a good run into 8th. Vaughn Mishko up from starting 16th, so to finish in 9th. That's a great recovery drive for Vaughn Mishko. Ian Boshoff, same story. Started at the back of the pack and ended up in the top 10, so that's a great result for him. Thomas Schrag, just not his day. Damage of some kind to that race car, clearly off the pace after the restart, after the first lap issues. Schrag comes home, the last car on the lead lap, in 11th, and that's going to damage his championship hopes. Anthony Martella will finish a lap down in the 9 car. Sebastian Garzon, again, a unwitting bystander to that first lap incident as he got clouded from the rear, and it required some damage several laps down, but he'll finish 13th. Joshua Allenell did not get back out on track. He'll finish in 14th spot. Christian Cameron will finish in 15th. Janetta and Hauk out even before they got across the start-finish line. But Jack Jeffers doing everything he needed to do to capitalize on the misfortune of Thomas Schrag. Jeffers into this with a 25-point deficit, and that is going to be a lot smaller right now. As Jeffers, starting from second position, took the lead literally at the jump of this race on the restart and did not look back, but he had company as Caleb Gaffera and Teddy Musella put lots of pressure on this driver all the way to the checkered flag. Had a little trouble getting that Hans device off, but Jack Jeffers notching his second win on the season, backing up that second place finish in race 1 of the weekend yesterday. Going one better this time as he climbs out. Big celebration for Jeffers atop that car. Great job as he gets congratulations from his crew. Well done. Again, closing down the points battle. That's going to make the race tomorrow morning all that more exciting. Jack Jeffers in a position to perhaps leave Mid-Ohio, if not with the points lead, a much closer battle than he had starting out this weekend.
Thank you, John. One more race to go after this one, the PFC Grand Prix of Mid-Ohio. But these drivers here in USF2000, man, put on a heck of a show. There was some really good racing all the way through the field in this one. Let's bring the drivers up. Remember, they're doing it all again tomorrow morning in the back end of the triple header. Championship most definitely up for grabs now. Thomas Schrag having the issue, finishing back, I believe, in 12th position. This is really going to open things up. Third place today as we'll start occupying our podium here from VRD Racing. Give it up for Teddy Musella. Strong run into third for Teddy, his third podium in the last 4 races. Fantastic run so far for Teddy. Coming home second place, a win yesterday, P2 today, a great weekend thus far for Caleb Gaffera from Pabst Racing. But again, the championship most definitely in the middle of a heated fight as we head to Portland. Still races to come here tomorrow. Toronto, you name it, lots to come. But this driver getting his second win of the year right when he needed it. Winning today for Exclusive Autosport, Jack Jeffers. Jack, there's obviously times during your career when you got to get those victories, and this was one of those times I think you knew you needed to get back up on the horse. Issues at Road America, but you came back and get a big win today. Give me your thoughts just on the emotions of winning.
Obviously, it's a great feeling. We're all here to win, so it's a great feeling, and honestly, it feels good to be able to repay the whole EA crew because Road America was far from ideal. So to finally give this back to them because they've worked so hard for me every day. They're working to help me in my career and give me the best shot. So a huge thank you to the EA crew and my parents, of course. My mom deals with a lot, so the stress she goes through is crazy. So thank you to her. I know it's not a Corpay car, but thank you to Corpay Cross Border Solutions as always. But yeah, I know it feels good to be back on the top step, especially with some competition having a not so fortunate race. So, you know, we're looking good, but there's still a lot of races to go.
Pace is there. You ready to do it again tomorrow?
Yes, sir. I'm excited for it tomorrow.
There you go. Get on top of this podium for the second time this year. Jack Jeffers is a winner in USF2000. Hard-fought race up front. Those drivers were going at it big time. No doubt about that. Again, Jeffers able to hold off Teddy Musella. Eventually, Caleb Gaffera sliding through as Musella made a move to the inside and got a little loose on the exit of that corner. Great job for all 3 of these young drivers, and they're putting up the results that we would have expected from them, and that's what we love to see, the development of these young pilots. I mentioned on the broadcast that Teddy Musella early in the season was 4th, back to potentially 8th. He had this super consistent run there in the top 10, but man, he has turned into a driver that we expect to potentially win any weekend, or at least at the very least be on the podium. 3 podiums in the last 4 races for Teddy Musella. And again, for Caleb Gaffera, the big win yesterday, backs it up with a 2nd place here today. And again, as we said, Jack Jeffers coming back big time with strong runs, a podium yesterday, and a win today to really open things back up in the championship. These USF2000 drivers are back at it once again tomorrow morning, as we know, for the back end of this triple header of the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. From there, a couple of weeks away, we head north of the border to the Honda Indy Toronto for a doubleheader there on the very challenging street course in Toronto, the capital of the province of Ontario. And from there, with all the other series, we head out to Portland, Oregon in Portland International Raceway for the finale to find out which drivers will win those scholarships to make the move up to the next level in 2026. USF Pro 2000 drivers are currently sitting on the Prix grid getting ready to go. They'll come out for their second end of the doubleheader. This is going to be a barn burner for sure. We know Max Garcia in a fantastic spot to win a championship, but those behind him need to step things up if they want to make any dent in the title run that he is lining up on here. So there you go, folks. That wraps things up here, guys. The champagne is there waiting for you. Go out and grab that bubbly. Let's have some fun. Jack, go get it. Let's go, boys. Grip it and rip it. Let's get the champagne flying. One more race for the drivers here in this program, the champagne flying, and that will wrap things up for race 2 for the USF 2000 category. John Phippen, we're about set to go. USF Pro 2000 drivers on the grid. They'll be up next to cap off the day's action here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course.